be the greatest like version of yourself each and every day, because that's what you're here on this earth to do, to just be you, man. Just be you.
Sure.
I say just be you, because like you are your own person, and you just gotta have your own beliefs and your own set of like how you do stuff. So you just gotta put the work in. You just gotta be willing to take the time out to put the work in. It's gonna be tough. Like, it's not easy at all, but you're gonna get through it for sure. And it's gonna take a lot of time, and it might not come overnight, because most of the time it doesn't come overnight. But as long as you stay persistent and believe in yourself, you got it. You can do whatever. Don't really worry about what other people have to say as well, because that don't matter. Like, you know what you gotta do. You know what's best for you. So just stay the course, and you're gonna have it for sure.
Welcome back to another episode of the DJ Henderson Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Henderson, and this is Season 4, Episode 2. Today's show features Trae Martin. Trae was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but moved to Tampa as a child and was raised there ever since. Trae comes from humble beginnings, as both of his parents are from Jamaica. They moved to the United States with nothing, and both made a way by working hard and making it into the medical field, and are able to support and provide for Trae, which he appreciates and loves him dearly. Trae started playing basketball in the 6th grade, which for some is a late start, but worked his way up throughout high school and is now playing college basketball at the Division II level. On this episode, Trae talks about after his high school career wrapped up and he didn't have many solid opportunities to play at the next level. Oftentimes, he thought about quitting basketball and just becoming a regular student and working a job. That changed once he met NBA champion Marreese Speights and started to build a relationship with him and played for his AAU team, Team Speights. After a big AAU season, his recruitment picked up and he is now a freshman at the University of Tampa. Trae Martin, welcome to the show, bro.
What's up, man? What's up? I'm happy to be here, bro.
Appreciate you. I know you're a supporter of the show. I appreciate you taking the time to come on here. It means a lot to me just to have you on here. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Trae, you was born in Fort Lauderdale. You moved to Tampa at a young age. Talk to me about what it was like being raised in Tampa, what your upbringing was like.
Well, man, actually, my upbringing, it was pretty smooth. I love Tampa. I have a lot of family here. The city of Tampa, that's where all my family comes to visit us. So it's a real cool spot. Yeah, I love the city, man. It's a beautiful city. And I don't live close to the city. I live more towards like New Tampa area. But being here is great. I love the weather. I love Florida. I'm a Florida boy. And I'm glad I'm here still and playing ball here. For sure.
For sure. People always say we live where you want a vacation, stuff like that. Nowadays, we Tampa Bay, we winning with
Tampa
the Lightning.
Bay, man. Tampa Bay.
The
And
Bucks,
we on the come up, for real, bro. We on the come up.
Definitely on the come up. You see, I've been seeing a lot of stats about people moving to Tampa. A lot of people moving to Tampa. I've seen Tampa, Austin, Texas, 2 cities that people have been moving to a lot. But I think Tampa is definitely a city that's on the rise for sure. As long as we keep winning championships.
We winning mad stuff right now too. Yeah. Hopefully we can bring another one back this year, man.
For sure. I think the Lightning, we would have three-peated if they lost 3 years ago. So
yeah. Hey, the Bucks got it, bro. I hope the Bucks got it this year.
We returned 22 starters, so I think we got a good chance.
That's what I'm saying.
Right now, you play basketball at UT. Talk to me about how you first started getting into basketball and who put the ball into your hands.
Well, bro, I've been playing basketball since, I can't even remember when the first time I heard of basketball. Probably since I was like 1 years old. But I didn't seriously start playing basketball until about 6th grade, bro, which is pretty late compared to a lot of people. And I've loved basketball. It's never worked out because my parents, they're both in the medical field, be busy all the time. And yeah, I never got the opportunity, but the opportunity came to me in 6th grade, started playing on the team I went TCMS at the time. And I was all right because I played basketball before, but not too much skill at the time. And then I just kept playing, started playing AAU in 7th grade. And since then, it's just been a grind, man. I've always been a big man since then. And I liked it, but I wish I would have started out playing like a guard or something like that, for sure.
For sure. I feel like I seen you a bunch on social media as social media became more of a thing. I feel like
Yeah.
we got a lot of similar friends, a lot of friends that are
Oh
like
yeah,
in the
we got
same
a
circles.
bunch of ties.
Yeah, for sure. I also went to TCMS, so I want to talk about that because a lot
Oh
of people,
word?
for
Oh
sure, for
snap! I didn't
sure.
even know that.
Yeah, go Tornadoes. Yeah, for sure.
About tornadoes,
A
most
lot of
definitely.
people don't. A lot of people don't understand. I tell people all the time. I talked about it on the show, like the kind of grind that was going there. Like, what was it like when you first got there, and what was your experience like there?
Hey, bro, CCMS. That was some crazy stuff, man. I really wasn't expecting that. I knew it was a challenge because it was a good school and all that, but I didn't know how much of a challenge it really would be. And like the course load, I'd say TCMS, bro. I had more homework at TCMS than I did in high school, bro. So it was like balancing that. You had to start balancing your homework and basketball and sports outside of school. You had to start balancing that from like sixth grade. So it definitely helped, but it was definitely a grind as well, man.
Man, okay. So elementary school, my mom a teacher. Your parents in the medical field, so I know they on top of you with your grades and stuff.
Oh
Man,
yeah,
I got
Jamaica.
to teach.
Hey, bro, they be on my head, boy.
I got a TCMS. My story, I was supposed to go to Bartels, and you know how
Oh,
there's a waiting list at TCMS. So like I got into TCMS literally one day before school started.
oh,
My dad asked me if I wanted to go there or not. I just said yeah, because I knew that we had lunch. We had lunch. The restaurants had lunch. That was like the deciding factor for me at that time. Like, oh, we get Chick-fil-A for lunch.
Chick-fil-A be busting, bro.
For
Chick-fil-A.
sure. But so yeah, I decided to go to TCMS sixth grade. Mind you, I've been getting straight A's my whole life up until this point. I get to TCMS. We gotta get our planner signed. Sixth grade, you gotta get your planner signed every day. You gotta write your homework in every class,
Yeah,
every day. You gotta have your belt
man.
buckle, ID, all that
Stop
kind of stuff. Your
playing,
shirt.
bro. It's
Like people don't understand when I tell people I went to TCMS, a lot of people don't even know what it is, first off, but they definitely don't understand the kind of grind that it took to even make it out of there. That's when I got my first C in sixth grade. I got in trouble. I was crying. I didn't
what,
what
bro?
oh,
First bad grade I got in sixth grade. My parents, they was like, "How you did this?" And I was like, "It's not as easy as you think, Ryan."
man. My
Nah,
mom had to talk to some parents. My dad had to talk to her. Like it's definitely it takes some adjusting, bro. Like it's not exactly what you said. That's how I was feeling. A lot of long night, a lot of crying. I used to be doing my homework in the car on the way to
like,
school, forgetting to get my planner signed, right in the car loop. Like
hey,
everything that you
that
done went
was
through at
fine,
TCMS,
bro.
I already know what time it was, bro. How do you think going there and how tough it was helped you with your academics going forward in high school and college?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. So like, I went to Brooks and Bartolo, and that's like TCMS kind of sister school, like next step school. I'd say a lot of people went from TCMS to Brooks. So I had a lot of friends that I knew already going into high school, which was pretty good. But TCMS definitely prepared me probably the best way possible. Like he was saying, like the homework, being up every night, all the hard school. It's not like your normal middle school. It's not. It's like high school work you're doing in middle school. So all that definitely prepared me. It helped me like to be more responsible, be on top of my schoolwork, keep everything written down. And that stuff still translates to college now because they ask you to keep everything down in the planner now too, which I never did in high school because it wasn't really mandatory, but it definitely helps in college because like you have a lot of stuff going through your mind, practices, workouts, you got school classes at different times. It definitely helps. So managing all that stuff during middle school, now it's like habit. So it definitely helps out.
For sure. Like you said, Brooks is kind of like the next step from TCMS. Most
Yeah.
kids from TCMS, from TCMS to Brooks, or they go to any of the IB schools, wherever they
Or IB, like King IB,
King
something like that.
IB, Hillsborough IB, stuff like that. I went to Wharton High School. I went to a public school because I wanted the public school experience. I had been in charter schools, private schools my whole life. And when I went to Wharton, like as far as academics, like you said, high school and college, like I've had close to a 4.0 pretty much my whole my whole college career. High school, I had like a 5 point something just because it was so much easier, like going from TCMS to there. What I wasn't prepared for was like the social stuff. Like at TCMS, we got about 200 or so kids in each grade. When I got to Wharton, there was
Wharton's huge.
2,400 kids total in the whole school. It's more kids in my freshman class than it was in the whole school at TCMS. So like, just imagine that. It was definitely a shock for sure, but I got used to it. I'm fine. I made it through. So
I really wanted to go to Wharton, man. I would love to play there because Coach Tonelli, man, Coach Tonelli different.
yeah, he did a real deal.
The real deal for sure. But I mean, I ended up going to Brooks, staying there for a year. So
for sure. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. Like we just touched on, you went from TCMS to Brooks to Barlow. Talk to me about what it was like starting high school and adjusting to the high school lifestyle.
Yeah, man. Well, at first, bro, I ain't gonna lie. My freshman year was definitely my toughest, like academics-wise. It was, I don't know, it was just a lot more freedom, but a lot more responsibilities at the same time that came with it. And it was like, had to start doing stuff that I usually wouldn't do myself. And it was kind of a challenge at first. And I was taking pretty challenging classes, like my first year. And like 2 APs, I think, or maybe like 1 or 2. And I started doing enrollment that year too. So that was definitely tough, but I feel like TCMS still helped me, even though I struggled like that first year. I mean, I was able to get my grades up and have all A's, and I mean, it definitely prepared me, but freshman year was a little tough for sure. But throughout the whole like process of it, after freshman year, it was just a breeze because it wasn't that hard of a workload, and everything worked out. Like all the stuff translated over from middle school, and I knew they were going to prepare me, so it wasn't too bad for sure.
For sure. Again, I feel like it was the same for me. I had a couple, like coming from TCMS, you start off a lot of the time, if you take the right classes, you start off with probably like 2, 3, 3.5 high school credits. So like you kind of start off ahead and you got to take some harder classes because some of the stuff you already taken. So my freshman year was a little bit difficult too, but once I like got through some of those classes, it was kind of a breeze too. And like my senior year, I ended up having I took 1 AP class and the rest of my classes were pretty much electives for the most part or easier classes. So it was all smooth and it was all worth it in the end, really.
Most definitely. Like my senior year, I barely had any classes actually. I would only come to school about like 2 days. So definitely paid off in the end.
For sure. What was it like playing basketball at Brooks? What was your experience like there on the court?
Man, well, freshman year we had a squad. You know that squad. We had Brandon, we had Kay, we had Vel, Jack, Mike. Yeah, we had all them. So we had a little squad, and we were playing in like good tournaments. And I had the opportunity to play like varsity my freshman year too, and it was real good, real smooth. It definitely got me more into the game, and it was a challenge at first because I had to guard and play against Vel, and that was tough because he's big, yeah, and he played football, but I mean, it definitely got me better, and he taught me a lot of stuff. And shout out to Vel, man, if you're watching this. But, yeah, he just put me on to a lot of game. And Coach Dumont is a great dude, great coach. Taught me a lot of stuff. And I'm glad I stayed there, honestly. It was a lot. There were definitely times where I was thinking about going other places because stuff wasn't working out. And, like, we weren't winning as much as like we should have or could have. But I mean, I'm glad I stuck through, and I'm still got the opportunity to play college ball. So I'm glad everything worked out how it did.
For sure. I know you want to be a Wildcat, man. I know you want to be a Wildcat.
Bro, no lie, I would have probably come to Wharton if I ain't go to Brooks, man. A lot of people were trying to get me to come over there. Carl was trying to get me to come over there. Darren, before then, yeah.
For sure. Playing varsity as a freshman, that's something that I didn't get the chance to. I played varsity my sophomore year and up. But talk to me about a little bit more about that. Like that's not that easy of a thing to do. That's a real big jump. A lot of people don't understand that if they have never done it before. It's not a lot of the time people don't come into high school ready to play varsity. What was it like being able to practice with those guys? You probably weren't getting the minutes that you would have wanted, or maybe that you knew that you weren't really ready for. But what was it like just playing against better competition than being on JV all the time?
Yeah, man. So when I started and got there, I was playing with JV for a little bit, for a few games, but I was still practicing with varsity. Like after JV practice, I would practice with varsity all the time and stuff like that. It would get me a lot better to the point where JV was like almost like not challenging enough. Like, I wanted to play more competition and get my game better for sure. And I mean, it was definitely tough. Like, that's not normal. And honestly, like, I didn't know how much minutes I'd get. But I figured out how it went, and coach told me that you might not get a lot of minutes. Eventually, he told me, and he was like, you might not get a lot of minutes, but it's still a big opportunity, a great opportunity to play varsity as a freshman, get the working practice. And the minutes that I did play, I made the most of them. So it was a great opportunity. I loved it, and I wouldn't have changed anything. I wouldn't have stayed on JV even if I could.
For sure. I mean, that's really all it's about, just getting the experience, getting to travel with the team, getting to play against better competition every day. It's really just like they say, iron sharpens iron. That's really what happens. I did the same thing. My freshman year, I played JV the whole time. Sophomore year, I practiced with varsity every day. I played JV on the weekends, and then from there, I played varsity. But when you practice with better players every day and like higher expectations, higher intensity, like when you go down to JV, it's definitely just a lot smoother. You're already ready to play. You done play better players every day. So like, it's just really like a piece of cake, like you said, a breeze for sure.
Sure.
After high school, you played AAU ball with Team Speights. Talk to me about your experience with Team Speights.
Man, bro, Team Speights, that's a blessing. Marreese Speights, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate him. Yeah. So going into playing with them, I had a few little like D3, D2 offers here and there. And I had a few looks, actually some D1 looks. But no real offer set in stone. And I was kind of like wondering if I was going to play like basketball in college because nothing was really like set in stone yet, and it was getting kind of late. It was after the season too, and I mean, thankfully, I'm young. I'm young for my grade. I really could have reclassed stuff like that, but I didn't want to. And Mo, he gave me the opportunity to play with them, and a lot of coaches that really just sparked everything. Like I think within my first 2 weeks of playing with him, I got an offer, and that was from Anderson University in South Carolina. Yeah. So after that, I was like, he told me literally before the season, he was like, "You gonna play college ball after playing this AU season with me? You gonna play college ball?" And I was like, "I appreciate that. I bet." And we made it happen, man. And then the second offer came from Tampa, and man, it just felt like the right decision right away.
For sure. A lot of people, I mean, I'm sure a good amount of people know who Marreese Speights is, but some people don't know Marreese Speights, NBA champion.
Space,
Won
NBA champion.
won a championship with UF, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did.
He was a part of back-to-back UF teams that won championships. Joakim Noah, Al Horford, all those guys. Definitely a winner. What did it mean to you when he told you that, when he made you that promise that you would play college basketball after playing with him?
Man, it meant a lot. And honestly, I've had coaches in the past say stuff like that, and this is the first time, like, off rip, I knew exactly that he wasn't playing any games because he's done it before. He showed it, and he's done it. Like, he's done it himself. So he knows what he's doing. He's played in the league, and that's where I'm trying to get. And that's not, like, that's the best person I could take advice from. So I really just put all my trust in him, and it worked out.
For sure. I actually played with Team Speights when I was younger, a long, long time ago, probably fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, around that time. Yeah. Sure. But shout out to Marreese Speights. If you ever I need you on the show if you're watching this. But being a big man, I feel like I can't say for sure, but I feel like he definitely probably spent some extra time with you working on your game. What are some things that he talked to you about, or some things that he showed you that's always gonna stick with you, that's helped you get to where you are today?
Man, we've had countless private workouts, one-on-one workouts with him everywhere, all over Tampa, and everything he's taught me has translated over to the game. And he's like, one thing I'd say that's definitely helped me is just to be patient. When you get it, just be patient and just basketball. It's a game. You're supposed to have fun with it. Just let the game flow. Don't think about it too much, and everything will fall into place. Just work on your craft every day. And it's just like everything that he was teaching me about the paint and big man stuff, that really helped me. Like, a lot of moves that he taught me after we were working out there and practicing, those stuff translate into games here in college. So that's some real stuff.
For sure. I feel like that's a lot. You just said a lot of good stuff right there. That's stuff that I know you're still trying to work on. I'm definitely trying to work on a lot. Some of that stuff that you just said, like I post up a good amount because I play like the 3-4, so I can post up smaller guards. I post up bigger people sometimes too, but like just being patient when you get the ball, just letting everything come to you, just trusting the work that you put in, all that kind of stuff. That's real good advice for sure.
Gotcha.
If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. You just touched on it a little bit, but what was your recruiting process like after that season, after that AAU season with Speights?
Man, after that AAU season with Speights, I had like a lot of coaches just talking to me, calling me, saying they're really interested, love my game. And it was a lot. Like, I loved the recruiting process, loved all the coaches, and really appreciate all the coaches that gave me the opportunity and also, like, reached out to me to give me an opportunity to play. And, I mean, it was really fun process, and narrowing it down, it was a little hard. But in the end, I think I made the right decision. There were times where I, like, went back on myself. Like, it took a while to actually make the decision, but I definitely think I made the right decision coming here and staying home and being in the city, hometown hero, man, you know.
For sure. What are some pieces of advice that you would give to somebody that's up and coming, that's going through the recruiting process now or might be going through it in a couple months, a couple years?
Man, for all y'all that, like, nothing sparking yet or nothing, like, you haven't really seen any interest, like, you can't – don't give up. Like, you can't just let that discourage you because that happens to all of us. That happened to me too. And it's like, I thought nothing was going to happen for me. I thought I wasn't going to be playing college ball, but here I am. You just got to put the work in, talk to the right people, and get everything right, and you'll be good for sure.
For sure. That happened. Like you said, that happened to everybody. That just happened to me. I just signed. I'm at a Division II school right now, Davis and Elkins in West Virginia. But after my JUCO season last year, I had some interest for some schools, but nothing really seemed like it was going to fall through the way that I wanted it to. And things happened the way that they did. And I'm here now. I made a good decision, just like you feel like you made a good one. It was kind of late, but everything happened for a reason. God had me and everything worked out. So I definitely feel that.
God played a big part in it for sure, especially with COVID year, man. COVID year messed a lot of things up, a lot of recruiting stuff got messed up with that. But it was a lot of kids that were supposed to go to college and didn't get the opportunity to just because of the COVID year. So I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to be here and be playing basketball here in my hometown.
As we talked about before, you're at UT, University of Tampa, home of the Spartans.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what went into the decision choosing UT and what it means to you to be playing in your home city.
It means the world to me to be playing in my home city. I did want to go away for college at first. I'm not gonna lie. It was like I didn't want to be too close to home, but when I really thought about it, all my people here, all my friends, all my family, they here, and it would just be great for them to come to the games too. And it's more of a personal relationship. And I have people I know over here that I could get contacts with, that I could work out with, get in the gyms with, and all that played in the role with it. My family, they definitely played a big role in making the decision, but it just felt like home. I actually came on a visit. I asked them if I could come on a visit, even though I've been here before for like tournaments and stuff like that. But I wanted like a real visit, and I love the campus. Campus is beautiful if y'all haven't seen it, but yeah, I love it here, and I think I made the right decision for sure.
For sure. Anybody that's from the city, we all played in the Martinez Center.
All played in the Martinez Center, man.
We seen some of the campus. I'm sure not everybody has seen all the campus. I haven't even seen all the campus, but the Martinez Center I'm pretty familiar with. Talk to me about what it's going to be like being able to play college games in there after your whole life. Pretty much you've been playing AAU games there.
Hey, it's a different atmosphere for sure. It's a different atmosphere, and it's like they just redid the gym too not too long ago, so it's looking even better. Redid the floors, the bleachers, all that. So we definitely gonna turn up this year. And since last year we didn't have any games because of like any packed games like with capacity because of COVID. But this year now I think we back at full capacity. So these games should be real live, man. Y'all need to pop out for sure.
Sure. I feel like everybody that's in college sports really It's just looking forward to getting next season off and going. After playing last year, no fans is definitely a different vibe. Playing in front of your home crowd, playing against people on the road, having a
Yeah,
crowd is definitely a different vibe for sure. So I
it's
think
different.
everybody getting ready for that.
It's a different feeling for sure. Like you gotta prepare yourself mentally for that too, because you're gonna hear some stuff. There's gonna be people screaming. You definitely gotta adjust your game a little bit.
For sure. What has it been like just adjusting to the college lifestyle? We talked about the difference between TCMS and middle school. What's been different for you just adjusting to college?
I'd say the biggest difference in like coming to college is it's like you an adult now, so everything is in on your time. If you can't be missing you can't be missing any classes, you can't be missing practice. You got to be on time for everything. Set alarms, write stuff down. You got to be real. Time is everything in college, for real. Literally, time is everything, and organization that really helps for sure. So college experience, but it's good. It's good though. You have your freedom. You can do whatever. You could hang out wherever, and it's really a great probably the best few weeks of my life so far. So I'm really enjoying it, and I hope it gets better.
For sure. It'll definitely get better for you once you
Yeah.
it seemed like you, man, I already know you went to TCMS, so I feel like you already got it down packed. Like
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, when you get to college, is most important thing is time management. Like you said, we talk about it on the show all the time. But I feel like the best thing for that works for me is I just every night before I go to bed, I try to write down in my notes or literally write it out on paper, like what I know that I need to get done the next day, from the smallest thing like brushing my teeth, washing my face, pray, like go to class, eat breakfast, eat lunch. Like I write everything down that I know that I got to do the next day. So when I wake up, I could see something and that, like I got a sense of direction. I know certain things I need to get done, and that helps too. Like organization, all that kind of stuff, that you mentioned. Those are the real keys to just being a successful student and a student athlete at that.
Yes, sir.
It's your freshman year at UT. What are some of your goals for yourself, some of your personal goals, and some goals for your season as far as your team goes?
Well, this year we have a real good squad. We got some real good pieces, some transfers. There's only two freshmen, me and this other kid named Tyson. Yeah, and it's gonna be real good. I say the team goal this year, we're trying to win the chip. We're gonna go to the tournament for sure. We're trying to go there, and that's definitely the biggest goal. But my personal goal is just to get better as a player and develop my game even more, because the college level is totally different. And I just want to be able to play and have a good season and at least average a double-double. So
You talked about working on your craft. What are some of the main things that you feel like you need to work on to take your game to the next level?
I say what I need to work on the most is ball handling. Ball handling is definitely a big thing, because I want to be able to just grab the board and go with it and take it up the floor, because that definitely helps in transition for college ball. And I'd also say my shot, because I'm not going to be playing the 5 all the time. I'm going to be playing the 4 and maybe the 3. We'll see. So that's definitely some things I'm going to have to work on.
For sure. I feel like for you, like I could see you playing the 4, maybe even the 3, maybe not right away, but with time working on your ball handling, your shot, like you said, you could probably play the 3 too. But just being as versatile as possible, that's what I would say should be something you should keep in mind. Like the more positions you could guard, the more position, really what you can guard, but offensively too, the more that you can do, the better opportunity you're going to have to be on the court. So like you said, it might not seem like a big deal, and it might not even be taking the ball all the way up the court. It might just be getting it off the rim and taking 2 power dribbles and making a good outlet pass. But just being able to do that versus having to get the ball and just pivot, not be able to put it on the floor, get it to your guard easier. Like that make a big difference. So I say those are some real key things that you should definitely be working on. You know what you need to work on more than anybody else. So for sure, just keep working on your game like you have been.
Most definitely.
Now we got this segment that I got on my show. It's called Crunch Time. Just a couple quick questions for you. Get it in the show off. Let's see. What has been the biggest obstacle that you've had to face so far to get to this point?
Biggest obstacle I've had to face. I'd say the biggest obstacle I had to face coming as far basketball wise and stuff like that is I'd say after putting in so much work, not getting any looks after such a long time. That definitely scared me. It made me almost want to just stop playing, just go to college, get an education, do stuff like that, get a job. At one point, that's how I was feeling, man. I was down on myself for sure. But like somebody told me one day, they were like, "Nah, you can't just stop now. Like you put on this work for no reason." So I mean, that was definitely a big obstacle getting over that and just putting my mind to it and telling myself that I can get there for sure. And that was definitely an obstacle, but I'm glad I overcame it and look where I am now. So
For sure.
So
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
best piece of advice I ever received. Man, that's a tough one. Let's see. Just be you, man. Just be you.
Sure.
I say just be you, because like in college, there's a bunch of different types of people. A lot of people from all over the world, a lot of different opinions and ideas on the world and different stuff like that. But you are your own person, and you just gotta have your own beliefs and your own set of like how you do stuff. So that's really important, and you just want to put your mind to what you gotta do, and don't really worry about what other people have to say as well, because that don't matter. Like you know what you gotta do, you know what's best for you. So just stay the course, and you're gonna have it for sure.
If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show. If you're tuned in through the audio experience, make sure you leave a review, a 5-star rating, and subscribe to the show. For sure. What are some of the sacrifices that you've had to make to get to this point?
Time is probably the biggest sacrifice. Hanging out with friends, stuff like that, because there's a lot of times my friends that don't play basketball, they would be like, "Oh, you trying to do this, trying to hang out?" And I'd be like, "Nah, I can't. I practice, I workouts, got conditioning, got film, stuff like that." And those are the sacrifices you got to make every day. But those are the sacrifices you also got to make to be a great player. So those things just come with being a great athlete, a great student athlete. You just got to make time for yourself and to work on your craft.
What's one or two quotes or mottos that you live by that you take with you every day?
One or two quotes or mottos. Well, I actually have on my board. I have a little board in my rooms over there. It just says "Be great." I look at it every morning, and that's just like telling yourself to be the greatest like version of yourself each and every day, because that's what you're here on this earth to do, to just be you and like being your greatest self. That's just gonna help the world in a better way for sure.
What's something that a random person wouldn't know about you, but your close friends, your family, they know about you?
I play like 10 instruments, dog. Yeah, I play a bunch of instruments. Yeah, man. I play the piano, I play the bass, I play the guitar, play the trumpet, trombone, play the tuba. Dang, I play a lot of instruments, man. But yeah, that's like my side talent. Not a lot of people know, but if you ask me to play, I'll play it for you for sure.
When and how did you pick up so many instruments?
Bro, I've been playing piano since I can even remember. I can't even remember when I started playing. Like I was really little. My mom and my dad, they always wanted me to play. So I mean, I loved it. Like I've been playing ever since they like wanted me to. And then actually at TCMS, so there's this band class, bro. And I was in band class, and literally I would play like every brass instrument, and I played a few woodwind instruments like clarinet for a little bit, but yeah.
For sure. That's actually lit. Like I
Yeah,
can't.
bro, I have like a low key like a musical gift. Like I could play dang near any instrument, and it's like that to me.
For sure. That's the real deal. I wish I could. I play guitar for a little bit. I play violin and
Okay.
school, but nothing too serious. But my little brother used to play the cello for real, but I think he left it alone.
Oh, the cello, that's raw.
Yeah,
That's raw.
I think once he got to high school, he kind of got off that. But like
Wait, like Damien?
yeah, when he was at TCMS, he played the cello all the time. He used to be leaving his cello at home, all kind of stuff.
Oh.
Shout out to Damien, man.
Hey, shout out Damien, man. Shout out Damien.
What's one or two pieces of advice you would give to somebody that's looking up to you, seeing what you're doing, and wants to do some of the same things you do?
Piece of advice I give to someone looking up to me. you just gotta put the work in. You just gotta be willing to take the time out to put the work in. It's gonna be tough. Like, it's not easy at all, but you're gonna get through it for sure. And it's gonna take a lot of time, and it might not come overnight, because most of the time it doesn't come overnight. But as long as you stay persistent and believe in yourself, you got it. You can do whatever.
For sure. What's your why?
My why? My parents, man. My parents is definitely my why, because they're both from Jamaica. Got the flag right here. They're both from Jamaica, born and raised, and they moved here with nothing. And now they're both in the medical field. Mom's a nurse practitioner. Dad's a nurse practitioner too, and cardiologist. And yep. So they made it from literally the bottom up, and I respect them a lot for that. And they do everything in their power that they can to support me and help me. So I really appreciate it. Shout out to them.
Shout out to mom and dad. If you could meet and spend a day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Ooh, dang. I want to meet MLK, man. That's a really influential person for African Americans, and I definitely could learn a lot of wise things from him and a lot of life lessons from him for sure. Next person alive, I really, I want to meet probably Shaq, man. Shaq was my favorite player growing up. LeBron's my favorite player right now, but I love Shaq. He's too dominant. And I played big man, and it all just translated. And I loved his game and how dominant he was. So he's I definitely want to meet him, learn some things about the game from him, and learn some life lessons as well, because he's been through it all for sure.
For sure. Who's your last
person? I'd say Bob Marley, man. Bob Marley, rip Bob Marley, but he's a Jamaican legend. He's been through so much in his life with his, he has a lot of relatives, and all of his songs, he makes great music, and I just want to meet him and sit down and just have a talk with him for sure.
For sure. That's a legit list right there. Shaq, MLK, and Bob Marley. That's legit right there for sure. Yeah. Last question. Who should I have on the show? Whoever you say, you got to plug me in. You got to help me get them. Who do you think I should have on my show?
Who I want you to have on the show next? Dang, man. That's a tough one for sure. That's a tough one. Hey, we should get Mo Speights on here. We should get Mo Speights on here real soon.
We need that.
Most def. I'm gonna plug you in for sure.
We need that.
I got you.
I'm a former player in your organization a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
You want to show if you see this, come check me out. Check out some of my shows. Right. I've been grinding. This not no joke. I've been grinding. Come check me out. All right, that's about it for the show. Trae Martin, I appreciate you again taking the time to do this. I know you done had a long day. This is a late night. Everybody be shooting this. It's 9:49 right now. Got to go to sleep soon.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on the show, man. It was a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to all the shows you got coming up. I'll be in tune for sure.
I appreciate it, bro. Trae, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Y'all can find me on IG at the Trae Martin. And you can find me on Twitter at Trae Martin1.
For sure. Everybody, that's going to be down in the description below. Make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all be ready. Stay tuned for Trae, freshman at UT.
Yes, sir.
This year, years to come, hometown hero, playing in the city. Y'all tune in. Y'all tap in with Trae, man.
I'll tune in. Go Spartans. You already know.
Yes, sir. I want to say thank you guys for your continued support of the show. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a review wherever you get your podcast. For exclusive merch, make sure you send a DM to the DJ Henderson Podcast Instagram page or my personal Instagram at DJ Henderson_. If you're new to the show and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on the show.